What's up, everybody? 7 o'clock on the dot. That even rhymes. Welcome to the JDFFFN live show. Man, we got the next, I think, 25, 26 days lined up right now. And it's super incredible. I want to thank all the previous guests who's joined me. I think the world needs a little consistency. And that'll start with me. Oh, that rhymes again. Getting crazy. Anyway, I look forward to the show. I wake up and there's not much to do, except if you're a social media wizard, like the next guest I have, Adrian Morrison. But before I get started here, hello everybody, we did some giveaways, a ton of giveaways. Tonight we were giving away these two photos that are signed. These two photos right here that are signed. All you need to do is comment below. Randomly on the end of this, going to go through, screenshot, circle, and you will be a winner. We've given out Zeo Ranger stuff. We've given out Green Ranger. All these are giveaways. They are going to be mailed. Even fan letters that I got are going to be mailed. Anyway, we have some helmets to reveal to you from Gabriel Junk Art, which he's going to be, we're going to be showing you some really cool stuff. Now, before we bring Adrian on the line, I just want to tell you that he's an entrepreneur, e-commerce, public speaker. He's very, very well known on social media, if not one of the top guys on social media. He's got over 10,000 students. He also gives back to the community, which I think is amazing, to kids and animals. That's a great person right there. He's donated his time to come on to my social media. I'm going to have a mix of people on here that kind of help you out with, finances. We'll talk finances today. We'll also talk. He's got a really cool Green Ranger Louis Vuitton helmet we're going to talk about. That's how I got a chance to meet him. He's also a fan, I would say a big fan, but I'm a fan of his as well. And Adrian Morrison is going to be coming on there. We're going to talk about some Gabriel Junk Art, who does all the Louis Vuitton, GabrielShaw.com, because he's got Iron Man, Power Ranger stuff. Just he makes all the Louis Vuitton helmets and all that stuff. So anyway, we're going to see if Adrian is on the phone, and you are calling from Mississippi. So let's see if you're on there real quick. Let's hope this works. I got a little light studio going. Jenna gave me the little light here, so it's good. And it was just a casual talk, hang out, see what's going on, maybe get some business tips, or just be motivated. Well, Adrian, nice and simple for everyone because you're on top of your stuff. So we're going to bring in Adrian Morrison right now.
What's up, man?
How are you, man?
I'm good.
Looking good as always.
I got a little light studio going on over here too, bro. You know, you got to have the lighting.
I got a little bit. When I first started, Jenna's like, Dad, I've been watching your IG live, and it looks really dark. And I looked and said, I wanted to keep it kind of raw, but not that raw. So I need to get some light on stuff. Well, dude, honestly, first of all, thank you, man, for coming. I was telling everyone, I know you're used to this. You're not a newbie at all this speaking, because you do public speaking as well around the world. But I did tell everyone that we met through Gabriel Junk Art, which does the Louis Vuitton. Sorry, my dog's barking there. Anyway, we met with the Green Ranger, the Louis Vuitton stuff, and I actually have some White Ranger, Lord Draken as well. And then I became a fan of yours, dude. I have much respect for everyone. Can you tell everyone, if you guys just tuned in, this is Jason and Frank, Adrian Morrison. Can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what's going on?
Yeah, sure. I do online entrepreneurship. So essentially, I teach people how to do internet marketing, but I myself do it. I've been doing it now for, I think, about 12 to 13 years. I got into online marketing because in college, I went to Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi, and I tried to get into law school, and I couldn't get into law school. I mean, I'm a straight F student, was not good at tests. I just couldn't make it. I worked for $5 an hour at a car wash. And I got online, and I was like, I play all these Xbox games and all this stuff. Why don't I use my time productively, since I have to grow up? And I discovered like how to sell digital products online without having to have any inventory, without having to have a real business for that matter. And so I started selling digital products. Like for example, Netflix. I was one of the biggest affiliates in the world for Netflix about 10 years ago. Every time I would send somebody to a Netflix free trial and they would sign up online through like Facebook marketing or Google, I'd get like $30. And so I started making like 20, 30 grand a month just referring to people to Netflix through little paid ads.
Yeah.
Very profitably. Now I do e-commerce. So I set up Shopify stores and I put products on there that I never see, that I never touch, that I never ship. And I sell those products all over the world. So I don't hold any inventory. I don't pay for the product until it sells. And, you know, we sell like, you know, dog collars, tactical flashlights, and yoga pants, just really random stuff.
Yeah.
And since then, I started teaching people how to do it as well. So we have, I think, about 40,000+ students that have gone through the training that I put out all over the world. And so here I am today, still in Mississippi.
That's amazing, man. I think people still is not grasping this. Made millions on this stuff. I mean, you know, you're in that category where, like, I read stuff and you've got some awards. I think people are maybe not seeing what this, you know, they just tuned in. You know, I have John Hennigan coming in. You know, his last name's Morrison, so I'm like, Adrian Morrison. So just let you all know, Adrian's an entrepreneur, and you've made millions. Not only that, you have made people, you know, make money and have something to look forward to. So let me ask you a few things. I just want people to understand that. I know you got into it. Is it something that people are going to say, well, you know, you got into it at a good time and I can never get into it now?
No, I mean, look, if there ever was a time, it is now. Because, like, for example, right now with the coronavirus, everybody's at home. All of these people are out of work. They're all bored and they're going stir crazy. They're shopping online. And so my online business is thriving right now, you know? I mean, I wish that this virus didn't exist in the world, but I guess the point is that it's never a bad time to take control of your financial destiny. And e-commerce specifically has been around forever, and it's getting easier, it's getting better, and it's getting more simplified for a complete newbie to get started. I have people that have started taking my training that are in their 60s, that have never done online business before, hit 7 figures in sales. And then I have people that are like 15 years old doing this stuff. It's really not that hard, but what I found is that you don't know what it is that you don't know, right? And a lot of people think that this online stuff is real complicated and you got to be tech savvy. But the fact of the matter is you can have an online business like with Shopify and e-commerce, set up products ready to sell, generating revenue in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, it's very simple to get started.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I go back to the social media. If it wasn't for people like you selling right now in the world and still, you know, things are available online. So I appreciate it. What I like about you, Adrian, is not just the Power Ranger stuff, but I love your drive, man. I was gonna save this, but it's on my phone. But I'm also worked. I had 18 jobs by the time I was 18. 18 jobs from everything from mowing lawn and selling lemonade to working at a restaurant to doing pizza. But during that time, I held on to the most sacred thing that I know, which is karate. And it was not a financial thing at that time. I was making maybe $25 a month. I loved it. It got my head out of, you know, the state kept me good out of the streets. It gave me something to look forward to. I was in trouble a lot as a kid, so I would used to have to fight all the time. So that's why I became a good fighter, is because I got in trouble as well. But at that time, see, we didn't need social media. I was thinking today, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to talk to you. I didn't need social media at that time. And for my business, social media is really, it's okay now, but it's not the best thing, because people want to Google an armbar and there's going to be 100 different translations to that. So it gets people confused. But in your business, that's something that people I thought the same thing. Oh, I'm not great at that, you know, the online stuff. So, I mean, you do teach thousands of people around the world. I would say we're going to talk a little bit more, but what would you do to tell someone to motivate them? I mean, you got a website, you got everything I do, man. Everybody on here, I tell everyone, it looks like a darn info commercial, but we're doing it for passion. You obviously love what you're doing. You see, I think the finances, I still don't think people understand that, you know, you have made millions on this. You're a successful, and people now that are just coming in might not know you, or your people might not know me. But what's great is that we know business and we know the passion of it. We also know the purpose, passion, and then comes profit. So maybe if people understand it, where can they go to understand a little bit about what you do? I mean, your website, I'm not doing a plug. I just want to understand. I don't want to waste time too much, make you think I'm taking advantage of your time. But what can you share with people a little bit?
I'm an open book. I'm happy to share anything. Obviously, if you go to my website, adrianmorrison.com, there's tons of information there. My Instagram page, tons of information there. You know, I'm definitely not here to sell any of my stuff or any of my trainings or anything. I give away a ton of free training, right? So every single week I do free trainings with all of my community. And I just share my screen and I show them how to set up Facebook ads. I show them how to set up a Shopify business, because I made enough money to relax and not have to worry about things a long time ago.
Yeah.
Very long time ago. And now I do it, yeah, because it's a business and I love business, but also because it's amazing being able to change people's lives. And I know what they don't know, and that is that there is another way, right? So I would say go to my Instagram page. I have free books. I actually was on national television for like 2 years for a book that I wrote. We sold 300,000 copies of that. And just like you're talking about the awards and stuff, I just got an award for doing over $50 million in sales in my own business. Not an MLM, not a pyramid, my own products. $50 million plus in sales. So
now people are going, all right, Adrian, Jason, I have your attention. And it's funny that you say we're not here to sell, because I'm not either. This is something free. I text you because you're a friend of mine, because, you know, like I follow Gary Vee and all these people, and people always, you know, if you bring value on this show, I do feel like I bring value, even taking them out of their, mind right now during all this stuff going on. It's entertaining. Maybe after this, they're going to turn on the news and watch what's happening today. But I was intrigued just for you as a person. And one thing that I did say is that you are helping other people, which is amazing, because I help other people how to run successful karate schools. I mean, I've done really good. I'm passionate about it. You know, I've made millions as well on karate during my whole time of just with Power Rangers and all that stuff because of karate. But you're not afraid to share it with people. And that's what I like, is when you can go and share your war strategies, or, hey, here's how to sharpen a sword. I'm going to teach you, pay attention very closely to me, how I'm going to sharpen a sword. And then you still competitors, but you're not feeling like you're competing, is because you have, you know, made it, like you said, a long time ago, which is super young. People are looking, going, what? How did you make it? And I look at your Instagram, and I always tell Jenna, she's probably watching in the other room, that some people are just flexing on Instagram. You know, like, look at this, look at that. But you're not flexing. You're trying to motivate people to say, here, and which will show the Power Ranger Louis Vuitton helmets in a little bit. But that's what's going to bring me to the next step, is that we're not flexing to flex. We're flexing to motivate you to say, hey, look, this is what you can do. And it's a great time. I always told you, I always want to call and ask you things. I got my hands in everything right now, but everything I do is passionate. And there are a lot of people that ask stuff. I know you've we've talked before, but let's be honest, I don't do that business, so I would have to learn and train. And I'm sure after learning and training, what would be, I'm just throwing questions. Well, I got some questions, some Power Ranger related questions, but what would it, I say, if you want to be a UFC fighter, sometimes back in the days used to be a black belt, but now you have wrestlers that are throwing black belts around. So it's kind of a combination of everything now. The karate stars are now the wrestler stars, and the wrestling is now saying karate, but it's not karate. So in my rank, you go to white belt, to 10th degree and I'm an 8th degree, what would it take to get started? And I tell my students white belt level, but is that what it can do in this business too? Is it something that you have to like, of course, work on, but there's different levels. You're like a master and you're teaching students. What does it take for a student besides passion and motivation? What does it take for them to get started, especially now with everyone watching at home? If you just tuned in, Jason David Frank, Adrian Morrison, right now, entrepreneur, e-commerce, does shows around the world, public speaker, teaches tens, thousands of students. What would you do to tell people that they can do at home? I mean, besides going on your website and learning, what will it take? Like, if you're an orange belt, Adrian, you can now put on your sparring equipment. That's what I mean. What does it take to actually get going? Is it something right away you can go, or does it take a little bit of a build-up?
Yeah, I would say, and I took martial arts and stopped training when I was probably about 21. I made it to junior black belt and Shotokan. And I would say white belt level, right? It's just suit up, put the white belt on, and start taking action.
Right.
I'm not one of those guys that's like make millions of dollars and be rich and all of this, because in all reality, the average person isn't going to go make bazillions of dollars on the internet tomorrow. But what they can do is they can make more money than they're making right now. Mm-hmm. And then it can start to snowball from an extra $100 to an extra 1,000 to an extra 10,000. You know, you just don't know until you get started. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Shopify, the platform that I use, it's the #1 e-commerce platform in the world. They saw that I had so many success students that they always ask people that have successful stores, how did you learn about us? Yeah. And they would say my name. They actually flew me up to Ottawa, Canada. That's where their headquarters is, and produced an entire free training around what I do that any of your community can access completely free. There's nothing for sale. There's no way to even buy anything on there. Right. It's just, here's step one to getting started. And I believe that within 2 to 3 hours, if you just sit down and you watch the training, like, you could be live, right? And you could be generating sales. You don't have to set up LLCs and all this stuff. It's literally Shopify does the website for you. It's like done for you. You plug in your logo, plug in some products. And then I show everybody where to go to get access to hundreds of thousands of products that they can drop ship. So remember, if I'm selling whatever, this iPhone case right here, right? I'm not actually warehousing this. I'm not paying to have inventory of this. I just list it on my website. Somebody comes and buys it. The money goes in my bank account. My vendor, my supplier sees that, and they ship it off to the customer and charge me whatever the wholesale price is. So it's 1, 2, 3, right? And a lot of people don't know that that is a possibility right now, but it in fact is. And it can be life-changing for a lot of people that start practicing that. So that free course is at shopify.com, and I'll send you a link you can share. For sure, it's shopify.com/academy. Sweet. And then you'll see myself and other entrepreneurs on there teaching.
Sweet. And which is a big thing. I just want to let people know, man, like we've shared love of Green Ranger, White Ranger. You're a very busy man. I know I am too, even though we don't got a lot of stuff going on, but I try to stay busy. My social media, all the karate students, remember, all my karate students, now the shop's closed. So we've converted it over to online. And as you know, it's easy to buy a phone case, but it's not easy to buy discipline. People buy all those VHSs. Oh man, I just dated myself. You look 21, by the way, but
35.
It's super young. But when I bought stuff, it would just go under your bid. Like people would buy it and be like, oh, you know, I got the Green Ranger workout video. Now I will say people did watch that. Kids did watch it, but most of the stuff is just stuffed under your bid because we don't have the discipline. So I'm shifting this whole online thing. And you, busy guy, I know I'm too, and we're not here to, it just sounds like we're here, hey, go sign up, but you do seminars around the world. I'm very lucky and blessed to have you on here, man. I know I've reached out to some of my friends. You were one of the first 6 that just said, hey, I'll come and I'll do it. And I appreciate it because my fans right now, you know, with the Power Ranger fans, it doesn't matter who's watching. We're doing a platform of success. And I think anyone tuning in right now that is interested in watching stuff, success takes passion, but it also works your mind. You know, when people want to work out themselves, it's just so much easier to, I don't want to work on myself, I want to drink and do something. So this is actually something that can help of value to all the fans, but I want the fans to understand too, it's like, for me, it's like having Gary Vee on my line. It's like having Tony Robbins on my line. I mean, I really respect you. I look at your stuff because you're not just hearsay. It's like I've done all that stuff, dude. I worked at a music company where I would go in and I would see this really rich guy at the time because he had a gold nugget belt. It's unheard of to have a gold nugget belt, and it was called a music company. And our job was to go to door, knock on your door, and present you, you know, cassettes. If you buy like 10 music cassettes, you win this small little stereo that you can play. So yeah, I went door to door, and I even sold encyclopedias. But what I sold, I believe, regardless of that company going bye-bye one day, I showed up for work and it was just gone. And that's what I mean is the proof. Like my instructor, Chris Casamassa, you know, I'm like, dude, how are you doing stuff now, even past this certain, when I was a kid, he's doing cool stuff. And even now, and he said that proof is just, it's what you see. You don't have to sell proof. And I think that's the biggest thing for my fans is that we're you know, not selling anything. So I appreciate you coming in, man. I know we talked, and I'll tell you, Gabriel Junk Art. You own the Louis Vuitton Green Ranger helmet, but that helmet has been around everyone's inbox, including myself. So when I first saw it, and we'll show it, I got the White Ranger and Lord Draken, but when I first saw the Louis Vuitton Green Ranger helmet, and Gabriel did it, which is super cool, and I'll give you his links. Even though you guys think you might buy something for Gabriel, you got to have some good chunk of change, because not only does it costs money, it holds value, and these are going to just go up and up and up. I know Nick Cannon bought the new Iron Man and the vintage Iron Man, so I see all these going all over the place. I was going to buy it, and then I looked, and they said the Green Ranger Louis Vuitton helmet sold. And the only reason I was going to buy it is because, number one, it looked cool. Number two, it's going to hold value. I'm not going to just get something that's just cool looking. I mean, his art will hold value, and it comes to the artist, just like yourself, like the CEO. So when I saw it, I was going to buy it, and then it was gone. So I kind of wanted to trace the Green Ranger helmet down without giving up names, because Gabriel just said as well that you could say Nick Cannon and a bunch of other people, but there's a lot of people that he sold to, the high-profile people like yourself. So when I asked them, it was one of those things, can we share the information? When I found out you bought it, the first thing I went to is your Instagram to look at what you do. You know, because the helmets aren't cheap, but at the same time, I wanted to see what you do and what kind of fan you are. The Red Ranger one, Adi owns, who did the Power Ranger Dark movie. So I said his name probably wrong, but he's the producer. He's really famous, so he owns that one, the red one. So when the green one came, I tracked it back to you, read who you were, and then I found out you were a fan. And you also have some really cool Versace, Green Ranger stuff. So let me ask you this question for people that always look at me and go, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Why was that Louis Vuitton Green Ranger helmet so appealing to you that you just wanted to get that? And you beat me to it.
It's just so sick, dude. I mean, look, I'm someone that really appreciates art. I have so much art right now that as I look around my office, like art is all over the floor. It's just stacked on the floor down the hallway. And things that motivate me and give good energy help me through my daily life. And, you know, watching you when I was like, I can't remember. I was really young. I'd wake up early in the morning to watch Power Rangers before school.
That's so cool, dude.
And watching, I was always a Green Ranger fan, and just watching that show and that childhood memory of some of the happiest times brings good energy. And then the feeling of, I've always wanted to be a superhero. You know, everybody wants to be a superhero. And I feel like my superpower is helping other people, right? And so it gives off that type of energy. But moreover, it's just amazing craftsmanship that he does, dude. It's something that is just incredible, and I know is going to increase in value. I mean, it's right there behind me.
We got to see it, dude. I'm going to show this one, but let me tell people that I agree with you. With art, you're not betting on the horse, you're betting on the jockey. And that's where you're going in art. You're betting on that jockey for who would ever think of those Brillo pad art that came out on a box. You know, that stuff selling for millions. That who would ever think $300-400 for a Brillo pad art piece? And when I saw that in the demand, and they're only making one, so I did call and said, hey, let me make. He said, well, I already made the Green Ranger. That's why I'm going to show you the white. Now I'm going to show you the Lord Draken. But I would never repeat that helmet, dude. I'm so happy you have it. Like, I can look you up anytime, and you're so giving, dude, to come on here and share things with the fans. And I'm not just saying that. You know, we talk stuff about, we don't talk business all the time. Hey, how much money did you make? This, we just talk life. Hey, what are you doing in Mississippi? Got the helmet. So everybody on here is just talking with me and talking life. It just happens to be super cool that you could change people's lives and be a superhero, because on the end of the day, I could put my Green Ranger spandex on, maybe go around and kick and punch, but you can put your regular clothes, your suit, and go out there and move people's lives. And I feel I'm doing the same thing. Maybe not financially for the kids, because they're spending all the money on toys at that one point, but I'm the jockey, not the horse. People are betting on me. You know, things are holding value. I'm not, you know, it's just So I want to check out the Green Ranger helmet. And then if you could, maybe you could bring it up. And then I'm going to show you the white and the Lord Draken helmet.
For sure. I got it right here. It's always in view. So when I'm teaching, like my classes, I do online classes and stuff, people can always see it.
Dude, that's so dope. Stay tuned for this, people. You got to check this out, man. Gabriel Art also has a website, GabrielShaw.com. Oh, my God. That's amazing, dude. Look at that.
Look at that detail, bro. It's nuts.
Dang, I saw that online. Never saw it in person. We're going to have to see that in person one, dude. That's amazing, man. And so I don't think people understand everything on there. The class for the helmet, the lock. If you see the lock in the back, dude, that is dope. Louis Vuitton lock. Louis Vuitton, almost everything that he puts on there. And, man, dude. Okay,
dude, when I got this, I wore it for like an hour until I almost suffocated.
I would too.
You know, I was like running around the house.
Dude, I was so happy to see Louis Vuitton and Green Ranger merge together, because I study brands, and it's really not the expensive cow or the ink we use. It is about an art, but also it is the branding of CEO. Like Rolex started with Goldsmith. They would put 1 or 2 Rolexes in a box, and it became so popular. Think about that with Green Ranger. They put maybe 2 toys in a box per Toys R Us, which drove the demand of toys so popular that moms were fighting over it. So to see that was super cool, because I love the branding. It's not about being rich or having money. It's just about, I think, branding and making things hold values. That's what I love. That's why I have a whole bunch of Stan Lee stuff. What's your favorite thing about that helmet? Then I'm going to show you mine. Any favorite thing you have?
My favorite piece of this helmet is that he put that sick LV lock on the back. I just think that is such sick detail, and I had him perforate the visor so you can actually see through it. And I mean, dude, even on the inside,
look at the bottom, dude. What the heck? That's
got
crazy.
LV on the inside. So, you know, I tell all of my art buddies that collect art to go look at his stuff, and also bought his original Scorpion and Sub-Zero masks.
Saw that. I sent it to my instructor, Chris, who played Scorpion. Let me see under the chin. Right there, under the chin of the helmet. Look at that. That's why when the Green Ranger fights, he ducks his chin so he don't have to, you know, get hit. And then when he gets hit, he goes, bam, Louis Vuitton for you. So let me show you the first helmet I got. All right, so this is the Lord Draken. This is the Lord Draken helmet that I actually used in the short that we did. And we shot, and I just to let you know, the value of, I invested money in that short. Like, I put up some of the money just for the fans. It was supposed to be a trailer, like more of a pilot for the studios to look at, to see the numbers, put up the money. Everyone said no, and everyone loves it. And the Hasbro, whoever else, just silly not to do that, or Green Ranger. And I'll show you the White Ranger helmet too in a second. But so this is the Lord Draken helmet. Now, I was captivated by your shield. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, super cool. I wish I had it, but now I don't, because if you could see like the red, and it just pops. And if you look at some of the detail, watch like some of the detail of the Louis Vuitton. I don't have the lock, but this is, you know, Louis Vuitton
stamped on the back, which does look cool now. I haven't really examined it like showing someone like this, but I have to myself. But now looking at this through the camera is super sick, man. And you can see in here too, just like yours, all the Louis Vuitton print. I don't have
the way he does the embossed Louis Vuitton print, it's subtle, but when you get up close to it, you can see it. It's just epic.
Dude, so that's my Lord Draken. So couldn't get the green one, so I said, okay, well, I'm going to go to the white one. So the white movie helmet, it's first of all super heavy. It's not like the other helmets. That might have been an Anarchy maybe helmet that he covered. It was probably made Anarchy or from the show. But so this one's super cool because it reminds me of it kind of reminds me of Scorpion, just a little, not a lot, but if it's something like this, you kind of go with that theme. Underneath, I don't have anything. I don't really have anything inside. So how come I don't have anything? Anyway, so you can see the embossing of that. I mean, it's just super.
Yeah,
cute,
it's
man.
so
It's
sick,
super
dude. I mean, I'm gonna buy some more.
Dang, dude, it's so cool. So anyway, I think there's only 4 Ranger helmets, if I'm not mistaken. A red one, which Addy owns, Shank, I think say his last name, who does Netflix shows and the Dark Power Ranger movie. The red one, the green one, and then the white, and then the Lord Draken one. And each one comes with a print. I know Gabriel will never redo them again, and I don't think I would want to. It's just kind of like maybe he'll do a different spinoff, but everyone is handmade, so for a fact that's not going to be done again. And I love stuff like that. I got a lot of Rolex watches that I love that discontinue certain models, and it's just I would go into a Rolex shop and get the stainless steel, was it Daytona or the one that everyone was waiting for 7 years, 8 years. It might have been the Daytona stainless steel. It was, I think, $7,500. The good thing about Rolex is that they never mark up their prices in the store. Once it's on the black market, they can do it. And that's kind of like what's happened with the hospital mask too. Everyone's kind of bidding on them, which is whatever. But I walk into a jewelry store, it's like a 7 year wait. I walk in, bam, the Green Ranger, bam. Next day I had a stainless steel Daytona. So that does help. I'm being the Green Ranger for sure. I mean, at this point, if you, and I don't speed. I was driving about 60 miles an hour. That's it, to New Orleans. Okay. So I did not want to get pulled over. So I'm driving 60, bam, got pulled over for driving 60. So when I gave him my license, he said, oh, let me see. And then he came back. He said, sir, are you the Green Ranger? Real calm. And I said, yes, sir. And he's like, here's your license. He looked super excited. He was like, have a good day. I said, you want something? And he was like, no, sir. Just have a good day. Because he went back on the radio and was like, I just pulled over the Green Ranger. So it does help, man. It does help a lot. So, but God, I was going to tell you, but yeah, it's super cool with the art. Let me ask you one question. As you grew up as a kid, now you told me everything about you. If you just tuned in, Jason David Frank, JDF IG live show. We got Adrian Morrison, who's a very successful entrepreneur, public speaker, and a very motivating guy that teaches thousands of students around the world how to, I guess, make income, but how to follow your passion through selling online, right? Am I correct on that? Like e-commerce?
Yeah, I teach people how to do internet marketing. So, starting e-commerce stores, doing digital marketing, start their own business that they own, that they can control.
Yeah, I see. I like that, man. And I appreciate, let me ask you about the Power Ranger question. But before I ask that, you travel around the world to teach people, or you have students that are more online? Is it public speaking, teaching, or is it a little bit of both?
Okay, so the way it started is I made a whole bunch of money at home. I became a millionaire before I was 25, I believe. And everybody was asking me like what I was doing, because I live in Mississippi. So
I know.
Internet marketing in Mississippi is like unheard of. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a book. So I just wrote a book. And what's funny is I can barely spell. So I had to have it spell checked multiple times. But the book ended up being for sale on a nationwide infomercial for 2 to 3 years with a lady named Forbes Riley. She's famous from the HSN network. She sold over $1 billion of stuff. Anyways, that got me like this massive following. from TV. And I started then traveling around the world doing events, live events, where people could come listen to me speak, and I would teach them about Facebook marketing and teach them how to start a business online, or teach people like even Gabriel that does our helmets, how to get their art out there more so people can see it and buy it. And I got tired of traveling because I did it for 4 years. 45 weeks out of the year, I was in a different, place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I now do about 90% online, and all of my students from all over the world get on these live webinars with me.
Yeah.
So I have like thousands of people on every Tuesday night. I'm right here. I share my screen, and I'm like, hey, here's what I'm doing in my business today. You can copy it.
Yeah.
And I do speaking gigs at big events when people invite me out. I'll do that more as like a favor than it's for business.
Yeah, totally. Like you're doing me a favor, which I appreciate, which makes sense. I tell people if I had FaceTime, I would not have to go to the command center, period. Do a FaceTime me. Yes, Zordon, what do I need to do? And I would go. So we wouldn't have to teleport back to that, which is the good thing on social media now, is that people can use it as a platform. Also, I know people cause a lot of rumors. It can be used for both, man. It's a double-edged sword. And I use it for battle, and just like you use it for battle, which it's funny you say that about spelling, because I write a lot. My daughter also writes, and I encourage her, and I never interfere with what she writes. It's great stuff. I write, not that great at spelling, wasn't that great in school, but I tell you what, man, passion and counting, that's all I need to do, is the passion about what it is. I never had to count 100, 200, 300. It's not that. It was passionate for me. So it was hard for me to write, and a lot of misspelling. I had spell check, but I would write on paper, so we didn't have that convenience of saying spell check. So my daughter goes to school, and who's your teacher? Mr. Siri, Miss Google, and that's what they do in school now. So it's super cool to see that, and it's also inspiring, I think, for people. My grammar's not always great. It's I don't use the periods and commas like I should. I'm doing the poem book, the JDF Spoken Truth, which is not easy to come out and say, hey, I struggle. We've all struggled. But I think it's great to see people say, you were a millionaire before 25. It's like, what the heck? Here you are, 25 years old, and working when you were 15, right? What would you say, $5 you were working at a car wash?
Yeah, well, that was still when I was in college, $5.15 an hour at a car wash on the side of the highway. It sucks.
Yeah, but dude, that work, like I said, follow everyone else, Gary V, everybody, and I just recently started following Gary V, because I just like to, I think I'd like to do it and then watch and reassure myself. So I'm not copying but anyone can copy a format, but it's really you, the CEO, that's going to put time into it. So you're not building people under you. You're actually building CEOs to work and own their own companies, which is amazing, dude.
Yeah, I don't, a lot of people, they confuse internet marketing with MLMs. I despise MLMs, right? If there's a leg and somebody's underneath you, it's just confusing. What I do is I teach people how to run their own businesses. I don't make anything when they do it. They're literally just doing their own thing. But, I've had the experience from failure to success, all the things not to do, and honestly, being one of the least likely to succeed that ended up doing this. And I like to tell my story when I come on platforms like yours, because a lot of people are like me. They're very ADD. They're not good in school, and they're told that they can't amount to anything in the future unless they get lucky, win the lottery.
Yeah.
That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is that if you want success, you can have it if you're willing to do what it takes to get it. And fortunately, it doesn't take book smarts to be successful. It takes dedication, discipline, and grind. So I stopped going to parties, and I started going in to my computer screen in my office and putting in the work. And then like that, my life changed.
Dude, that's amazing, man. I love seeing that. I always say that my phone is my dojo right now. I don't drink. I haven't for about the last 10 years. I did, but I was out to the point where I would, go have fun, party, maybe the next day, not feel good. But also it went back 10 years ago where I would just casually drink, and there was nothing wrong with that at the time or anyone doing it. I'm a superhero. The last thing I want to do is get drunk with a fan. Although a fan would really love that to go have a beer, I don't drink. I do what you do. I go back to my hotel room, I book a show on the weekend, and I go back and share that weekend with people on social media. A lot of people don't get it, or they're like, oh, Adrian, I could never do what you did. Jason, I could never do what you do. You can, but it takes discipline. Not every, like this show, dude. I woke up at 5 a.m. I don't have nothing going on. I got my social media stuff. You know me, I'll go crazy if I don't have anything. So I started the show, reached out to you guys, and I got to be honest, I look forward to talking to you all day long. I'm really into success. I'm into, you know, business. I'm not necessarily into the money, because you know how many people I know that have money that are just dirty people, just one of those personalities that I'm like, I don't care. Your money can't buy, you know, your money can't buy respect. And it's just one of the, I'm around it all the time, dude. I moved to Texas, wanted to get away from Los Angeles life, wanted to get away from all the Power Ranger life, but then it's like a car brake that goes, where you say, hey, I watched you as a kid growing up, and here you are, success and sharing success. I have a question, and then we'll let you go. And I tell all my friends, I'm going to text you. I'm going to say how cool it was. Even though I tell everyone, that's what I'm going to do, is say, dude, it was amazing. I'm not just saying that. For me, this is a hole in my fans that are watching this right now. I got a lot of fans that are probably like, business. You know what I mean? And they got to take time in themselves. Like me, when I write these poems, dude, like I'm taking time out to look in the mirror. And looking in the mirror, looking at yourself is harder than looking at someone else. And that's what we have to do. But you also look in the mirror and appreciate you, but then look at a guy behind you that says, hey, Adrian, I want to move up like you, and you welcome that person instead of blocking them. And that's kind of what I do in martial arts. I did martial arts seminars around the world, taught a guy down the road how to run a school. And you just need that discipline and, like you said, grind. So I'm happy to hear that someone else is successful that might not be the best in school, you know, might not be best at spelling, but I can yell out morphin time anytime, and I could fight at any time. So maybe I couldn't do your math at that time, but I could fight. And I learned to take care of myself and not be bullied. That was one thing I learned. It wasn't cockiness, it was confidence that got me out of stuff. When you're up against someone who's confident, that says, and you know people, Adrian, I'll do it. And you look, and then you trust them, and then they're coming back and going, dude, I did this, and you trust them to continue on, which is great, which I appreciate. But the question I want to ask is, what is your favorite? People ask me all before you go, what's your favorite, I wouldn't say episode, what's your favorite movement in Power Rangers that got you going? Green, white, what was your favorite movement? Just, you can only pick one movement.
I mean, what do you mean movement exactly?
Like, the biggest thing that stands out for you, I didn't give it away, but sometimes people love the Green Ranger evil, man. They're like, I can't see you other than the Green Ranger evil. I can't see you other than being the White Ranger. That was like an epic movie moment, or Zeo or Turbo. I don't, you know, you're at that age where I kind of let you, what did you really grow up on? What was your favorite? Bad in the Sun, hands down, he was a White Ranger fan. That's why we did White Ranger versus Scorpion. So where's your go-to, John?
Dude, it's Green Ranger, bro. And it's not because of evil. It to me was the realest part of Power Rangers was the Green Ranger, because the Green Ranger went back and forth between good and evil, even though, you know, he was under a spell at times, from what I remember. And when you have all of that power, you do have you have a choice, you know, good or bad. And it taught important lessons. But honestly, like, Green Ranger just he's badass. I mean, I love the suit. Green's my favorite color. And it was just my favorite part of Power Rangers was the Green Ranger, but more so when he became good than evil, which is really cool. I actually took no lie, I didn't think I was going to say this on here, but it just came to mind. I took my girlfriend in 4th grade, I was in 4th grade, to see the Power Rangers movie, the very first Power Rangers movie.
That was, I think, 95 or 95. 19.
Yeah.
Shows
And
my age there.
she dumped me like a couple days afterwards
Oh,
because,
shit.
because
Well,
I was such a Power Ranger nerd, you know.
yeah.
I
That's
was
what I
like
tell
freaked
people.
out. And you know, like it's just it's surreal to, you know, become friends with a Power Ranger, with you specifically. Mainly because, you know, when you're a kid, and I know you probably get this a lot, but I watched you and the other Power Rangers growing up, and you meet someone that you know, idolized growing up, the Power Rangers, and then find out that they're actually like a really cool, genuine person. It's just, I don't know, you know, it's an amazing feeling, because oftentimes people meet others that they look up to and they're not so genuine, right? And when you came to Mississippi to do the Comic-Con, you got so exhausted from giving back to your fans, which you don't have to do. You know, you can cut off at the end of the show, that you hit me up and you're like, yo, I'm exhausted, dude. You drove from like Texas from 5 in the morning to get here.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get to hang out. And rather than being like upset about that or, you know, let down, it's like, that is one cool dude right there, because you put in mad work that you didn't have to do to get here to see all the fans, you know, that were counting on you to show up. So it's inspiring for me to watch everything that you're doing and how much you give back and how genuine you are and just how much you care about your community, right? I think it's important.
Well, dude, I appreciate it. I'm going to tell you, I was driving with Jason Font. He's a friend of mine. He's a financial advisor. I'm bringing him later on. Much like you, very, very charming, good-looking guy, but he grinds, dude. He works for his stuff. You know what I mean? So he's an influence, and that's kind of why, for me, I just choose clean branding. I have karate schools. I really want to tell people, hey, don't drink. Hey, don't lean back on this crisis right now. Whereas a lot of big celebrities out there, a lot of big celebrities, Rock, a lot of big people. I wasn't even going to mention his name, but I look up to, and I can't get pushed the alcohol. Again, can't get pushed the brand. That's why I did the water thing, man. I really got to tell people at this time, the addictions, which me and you are probably alike. We like to work. We like to help people, which you help kids and you help animals, which is amazing. And we'll go on that in a second. But when I drove to Mississippi, I talked so highly of you to Font. I can't wait to meet him. And I'm gonna back it up. I don't care what you do. I don't care what. I just knew we were intervened somehow and we met somehow. I meet people all the time around the world, super nice to them, and then find out they're successful or this. And that's why I get along with them, because we're a people's person. But I drove, told Font, can't wait to meet you. And then I missed the flight. They said, hey, man, you're going to miss the show. And I told Greg and Jay, no, I'm not going to miss the show. What are you going to do? I'm going to drive. And it was like 6 hours, waited for the plane, got our bags. So we literally just rolled up, slept for 2-3 hours, and we gave. And, you know, some people can give. Hey, Adrian, how you doing? It's good to see you all. Goodbye. Or people can really give. But I was bummed I didn't get a chance to meet you. I was very surprised to see all this stuff. And then I said, where do you live? And I was expecting, you know, like, I mean, you got a place in Florida, but I was expecting, you know, people think I live in Hollywood, or where do you live? Yeah. Hollywood Hills. I'm like, Texas. People are like, Texas. So when you said Mississippi, it's cool, because my mom always used to teach me how to spell Mississippi. And Greg and Jay are good people. They run a heck of a show, and everyone over there great. So when I found out you were going, or you lived there, I was going. So even though we get a chance to meet, it makes me feel good, because I did feel like, I not let down you, let down me and Font. I wanted to hang. So I'm glad you said that, because most people would take it the wrong way. And I could totally see what type of person you are, and your mentality and your thought process to actually think that. And that's the same way I would. And that's what makes, you know, you special. People love you. And that's it, dude. I just really was looking forward to this, because I knew we already hit off before with the Ranger stuff. We had no clue what I was going to ask you. I don't like to prearrange questions. I don't know what I'm going to say. You probably weren't going to think you're going to take your fourth grade girlfriend to see Power Rangers. That sure would not be on the list. And a lot of things would not be on the list that we talked about. So I thank you, man. Is there anything you can, I'm going to text you afterwards, anything you can tell my fans that you maybe, because you just tuned in, maybe you can direct them again to your Instagram, your social media, let people know Adrian's on here as a favor. And I'd say as a favor because he cares. Busy man. I text him, go to his page, not only do you flex, it's not about flexing, it's about proof. And if you go to that page and see that stuff, that is his, because a lot of people flex, like Jenna says, and it is motivating, but you also work for it, man. And you were a millionaire by the time you were 25. You don't need to work. You don't need to share. So I appreciate that as a businessman and as a fan of yours. That I appreciate it. Maybe you can tell the fans where to go, and then I'll send you a text a little bit later.
Yeah, thanks for that, dude. So you can check my page out at Adrian Morrison here on Instagram. My website, adrianmorrison.com. And I have lots of free training on YouTube, like hour-long trainings that you can just watch me working, building a business, giving away businesses to people that I build. It's just youtube.com/Adrian Morrison. And then for the free e-commerce course, shopify.com/academy. You can scroll down there and you'll see the training that I did on there. It's all completely free training. And yeah, I don't really do a lot of lives like this.
Yeah.
Not because of time, just because, you know, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm usually focused in on this, and it's just been really fun. I've really enjoyed this, and I enjoy sharing my story with, you know, your community, and just looking at all the comments. Yeah. I just want everyone to know that, you know, if you see other people flexing and you see other people with all of this money and all that stuff, and you're constantly focused on that, then you're focused on the wrong thing. What you need to be focusing on is you, right? And what you can do and what you can achieve. So don't go to someone's page like, you know, yours or mine, and try to compare everything that you're doing to the people that have already mastered their craft. Because everybody has to start at step one, right? And just make your progress step by step by step. And sooner than later, you yourself can become a master of your craft as well. And it's funny that you say the flexing on Instagram. When I post like pure value, it gets no traction. None at all. I post a car or a jet and it takes off. You know, which tells me that people really are focused on the wrong things, right? People love being entertained rather than educated for the most part. So I hope that your community will come and look at my stuff and get some free education, and hopefully send you some messages and say that some of this training set them on a new path that could potentially change their life. That would mean the world to me.
I would love it. And I would tell people too that I free stuff, dude, it's value. It's not, we're not selling anything. I gave a shirt a long time to a customer because we had a problem, and I said, sorry, man, I believe in customer service, but it's karate. If you're, you know, it is what it is. If you're not here to train, then Adrian, you can leave the front door. I'm allowed to be disciplined and hard. But I did apologize and gave him a free shirt. I never forget this guy. He was a rich guy, had a, you know, nice cars. And he says, why do you give me a free shirt? I could buy 1,000 of free shirts. And I said, why would you buy 1,000 if they're free? And he got all like, you know, oh, you know, but it's true. The value that we're given is free. And it's one of those things where I tell everyone, everybody I had on here, Leo, Chris, Mike, Jimmy, Bat, and his son, everybody I had are friends of mine that we share the one thing, passion. And sometimes when you truly sell passion, people buy it, but they also look at it and go, and people do want to be entertained because we don't like to think. And when I say face yourself, face your problems, I don't care, write it down, face who you are and what you can change. It's too like, Adrian, I just want to watch Power Rangers. Super cool. But you're all growing up. Here's a guy right now, guys, who I brought on that add value to me in my life. I don't care, to be honest. I know it sounds selfish. I don't care who's watching. This is for me, you know, and when it's for you, people train. Like when I teach karate, I'd say, okay, Adrian, follow along. And I would get a workout, which made you better. And, you know, it's so thankful, man. I appreciate you so much. I definitely want to check yourself out. Check your stuff yourself. Check your stuff out because it's intriguing to me. You know, it's not about getting hands and everything. It's just intriguing how much passion you have and how successful. And you don't sit there and brag and say, which you could. I was a millionaire by the time I was 25. Not a lot of people can say that, but not a lot of people are going to take time out of their day to come to a new kind of platform, a new audience to share this. So you made a lot of fans. I know I'm even a bigger fan, dude. I appreciate it. And like you say, sometimes when people show things, like I'll show this, it'll captivate them, right? They're like, oh my God, a White Ranger Louis Vuitton. But maybe by captivating them by an object or an item can move their life and change their life. If they're captivated by this, then go check out your stuff and learn to work at home, because that's all we're going to be doing right now. So everyone can dig their heels in. Go to Adrian Morrison's Instagram, check it out. And I know I appreciate you, man. Oh yeah, show your. Let's do it. Hey, screen shoot us, man. I'm gonna hold it up. Let's hold it up for 5 seconds and then screen. My fans are great about that. Screen shoot us and tag me and Adrian. This is the only time you're gonna see this together until we get together and we'll take a real picture. So let's hold it for 5 seconds. I know I'm not gonna talk yet, but hold on. Now that people thought we were froze, isn't it great when you go? Anyway, dude, thank you so much, man. I really look forward to getting the chance to hang out, man. And when you said Mississippi, I love Mississippi. My mom used to, for some reason, I don't know why Mississippi was in my heart, why it was in my mom's heart. My dad used to run truck and run lines, so he'd go to different states. So I've been in Mississippi probably several times, way before you were born. So anyway, I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you, man. I'll send you a text, dude. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having me on. It was an honor.
All right, buddy. I'll talk soon.
All right. See ya.
Okay, man. Thanks. All right, everybody. Man, that was hype, dude. Adrian, great guy. Added so much value to my JDF IG live show. If you guys are watching right now, I'm telling you, man, right now is the time where you can go, you could check out online selling, you could do something from home, you know. And in my training class, all the students up there that are training on the Rising Sun Karate platforms, I want to thank you, because it's not easy to have discipline and go home and train. Guys, I really look forward to this. I'm not just saying that. It gets me through my day. I wake up in the morning, I think about who's next. I have a lineup of like 26 or 27 guests from everybody. Tomorrow's guest is going to be Chris Sabbath, who plays Vegeta in the Dragon Ball Z. Very popular guy. We had Sean on, who played Goku. We had Jimmy J, who's a Comic-Con owner as well, Bat in the Sun, Mike Rome, Chris Casamassa, Leo Rush was my first guest on the show. All these people aren't doing it to sell you anything. They're doing it because they're passionate about it. They're doing it because they're good people, man. And I'm doing this show for fun. So hopefully this added value to your life today. Tomorrow I will be on with Chris. Now listen, Chris is a voice actor from the Dragon Ball Z. Every guest I have on is going to be driven towards their universe, but also, you know, life. So me and Sean had a great time cutting it up the other day. I say cutting it up, but everyone's going to bring something special. Emilio Rivero, son of Anarchies, Derek Thieler's coming in, Baby Daddy, and he was also in the Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. We got John Hennigan, Nakia Catherine, Jason Font, Chris Katana, Rob Pryor, Rob Liefeld, who created Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, and the list goes on and on. Kevin Sorbo. I mean, we got cosplayers, Sony. We got D1, who's a rapper out of New Orleans. He's coming in. If I forgot anyone, I'll make sure I tell you guys tomorrow. But again, Adrian, thank you for taking the time. I just looked at the clock, and that was an hour long. Dude, thank you. I thought maybe we were going to do 15, 20 minutes. Time flew by. I appreciate you guys. The artwork is Gabriel Junk Art at Gabriel Shaw. I actually wrote it so y'all can see. Y'all can see it right there. That's the Instagram. So if you guys want to check out some Louis Vuitton exclusive helmets, Lord Draken exclusive helmets, the Green Ranger that Adrian owns right here. So you guys check it out. Tag me and Adrian, the picture of us. Hopefully you guys will be on tomorrow, right? Every day, some consistency. Chris Sabbath, the Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta will be on tomorrow. I want to end it here. 86,400 seconds a day. And I'm truly blessed that you guys took time out of your day to come visit me at the JDF IG live show. Adrian, if you're watching, you added so much value in my life, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Until tomorrow, it's morphin' time. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. See you soon.